Hi friends, and welcome to the next workshop. In this workshop, we're going to be checking out soloing with skidoos. Soloing with skidoos. Okay, all right. So as you may know, constructing a solo is something that takes a lot of practice. Now, there are some tips I'm going to give you before we get into this to keep in mind when you're doing any kind of solo, okay? But especially with skidoos and anything that has to do with improvisation, there are things you need to understand to make your solo effective, okay? Now, the first thing I want to talk about is keeping musical structure. There's nothing worse, I think, than playing a solo with no concept or idea about structure. Whether it be 4 bars, 8 bars, 16 bars, or 32 bars, keeping a musical structure will help you put your solo in order, and it will give you the points that are coming up next, which is a very important point, which is tension and release. Your phrasing should be aimed at release points in the musical structure. Where you start and where you finish a phrase is very important for communicating, building tension and releasing a phrase in music. If you listen to any great piece of music, these are standard musical concepts that you should apply in your soloing. There's nothing worse than having like a phrase that goes for 2 bars and then 1 and then crashing on the 3 of the 4th bar. I mean, you know, that's like a no-go. That's totally not soloing, it's just chaos. Okay, so always you want to tell a story, you know, and by telling a story, you get your point across. Now, of course, telling a story, you know, what is that? Everybody says, oh, tell a story. Basically, you got to keep a musical structure and a phrase. All right, that's the best thing to remember right now. The next point I want to talk about are diminution and augmentation. Diminution means to make something smaller. Augmentation means make it bigger. So the obvious thing on drums is diminution. You make a phrase smaller by increasing the speed, okay, or the rate. Augmentation, you make it slower. You can make an illusion of, for example, halftime. If the time is like 1, 2, 3, 4, and you play a backbeat on 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, it gives the illusion of halftime. So that's an augmentation of the time. Okay, that's a real simple example, but I want you to understand it like that first. The next concept we have reviewed, which is right-hand lead. Right-hand lead is going to give you a tremendous options for your solos when you want to execute phrasing in the kit. It gives you mobility, it gives you options as far as voicings and stuff like that. And it's a very useful tool that you should absolutely have together before you start to take on any solo. Okay, so finally we have the SKAs. If this is the first time watching these videos, the SKA system is basically a simplification of Konakol. Phrasing from India. Groups of 5, groups of 7, groups of 9, 11, whatever you want, you'll be able to access a lot easier with the SKA system because it eliminates a lot of the things that on Western drum set are basically not applicable. Like the vocalizations, a lot of them are meant for specific instruments, tabla, madungrum, kanjira, etc. So you don't have those sounds on drum set, so the SKA system makes things a lot simpler so you can use that phrasing in your playing. So the first thing we're going to do is check out an augmentation. Now, this is a great way to start your solo because you kind of establish the time, but you give some space to the beginning. Let's say if somebody wants to speak with you, do right away. The first thing they do is blah, 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 blah. Are you going to listen to that person a lot? No, you're going to be like, whoa, hey, man, geez, But if they ease into it and smile and include you in the conversation, that's a much better way to get a conversation going. So augmentation is a great concept to start with, okay? Now this is an example of augmentation. Now the next thing we're going to do is use right-hand lead. Right-hand lead in this case is going to give us the phrases and we're going to move it around the kit. This is the next step in your solo, is to introduce the time where you really feel it and start introducing some phrases. Now don't go crazy right away, take it easy with your phrasing and leave some space. A beautiful way to accomplish this is through the use of rhythm, through the use of the SKA system, which comes from, again, Konakol. The use of rhythm is a great way to speak because you don't want to be playing licks and just repeating them by rote or sound like a trained seal, doing something you practice a million times. You want to sound spontaneous and beautiful, and you want it to have space and movement and texture. Okay, those are signs of a great soloist. The ability to carry out this, again, tension from the beginning of the solo to the middle. And now check out this part. Okay, and for your next part, you want to build the solo. You want it to come to a climax. You want to push and have excitement and almost almost have it be like a closing statement to your solo, okay? And for that, a great tool is diminution, all right? Now, with the SKA system, you're gonna apply diminution. It's basically what you're doing is making a faster rate happen and using the SKA system in this faster rate. And we're gonna do it with rudiments, and here it is. I hope you enjoyed that and you can realize how beautiful and useful this system is. Basing your phrasing on rhythm is one of the most important things you can do for your drumming. Playing licks in succession only gets you so far and it paints you into a corner. Rhythm is an infinite thing. It provides you with vocabulary, ideas, colors, textures, all these things that we talked about, rhythm can give you. Once you know how to use rhythm, drumming, your ideas, everything about music expands to level of infinity where creativity never ends. You can never run out of ideas. If you're running out of ideas, you're probably playing licks and you're playing by rote, all in a binary language. So I'm very happy to have you here with the SKA system. Thanks for watching. Peace.